So it was a phase one trial, typical phase one trial, but as many of the phase one trials nowadays, it was a molecularly focused phase one trial. So essentially, everybody who had to enroll had to have the G12C mutation, and that could be by local lab, local NGS or whatever. The design of the trial itself had went up to what's called up to 960 milligrams once daily. It was what's called a CRM design, and we had the option of not only dose escalating some of these patients once we cleared the dose, but we also were backfilling some of these patients. And then we expanded it in 3 different patient populations: one non-small cell lung, one colorectal, and then one all comers. So the data that we presented at ESMO, it was up to and published, had close to 129 patients. In the ESMO presentation, we had 59 non-small cell lung cancer patients. And typical of all phase one studies, it was really try to understand, one, is there a recommended phase 2 dose? What were the underlying toxicities? What are the underlying grade 3 adverse events that were either treatment related or all cause related? And really trying to see whether or not, also whether or not we would see responses in patients with these G12C mutations. I think what's exciting about this study is that it's really kind of, the first evidence that we can not only target KRAS G12C, but really it opens up the possibility that we could target other alleles or codons of KRAS, right? So like KRAS G12D, which make up more than 90% of all pancreatic cancer patients, right? And so there are molecules that are in development from Mirati and from other companies that will possibly hit the clinic in the near future. So all of that is really kind of exciting. So we're looking forward to test those molecules. But also, I think there was a kind of a differential response that we saw with the G12C. For example, in non-small cell lung was around 35%, but in colorectal cancer was about 7%. And why that is, we're still trying to understand that. There are definitely some theories. One is kind of an adaptive response by the EGFR pathway. And so there are combination trials that are ongoing looking at 510 or sotorasib plus EGFR inhibitors, and also MRTX849, which is the competing kind of KRAS inhibitor, plus cetuximab. So I think a lot of those will be exciting to see what happens. And I think the story will be very similar to, in some ways, the BRAF story in colorectal, which we now have an approval agent of encorafenib plus cetuximab, right, from this Beacon studies. So I think there's going to be a lot of lot of data in the future that will be on top of what we've just reported.